Appleknocker Radio.
Even though each person is an individual node, there is a continuous consciousness. Like a family line represents a consciousness.
Yeah, in ceremonial magic terms, it's called an egregore, and it's like the morphogenetic field. Right. We know that we have egregores when magicians come together and they do a certain working over and over and over again, the same way that builds up an egregore around that working, and it builds up an egregore between the practitioners. But there's also egregores, or these morphogenetic fields, around cultures and beliefs and practices. And I mean, even like the sports teams have egregores around them, because that it's like, here are the certain songs we sing, and here are the certain things that we do, and here are the certain practices that we have that unite us together. And so, when we're looking at like a familial egregore or an ancestral egregore, it is in many cases, the embodied manifestation in our epigenetics, right? We know from, epigenetic science now that we inherit good things, and we inherit traumas from our ancestors that we, in our current lifetime, would have no experience of, other than they show up again and again and again, and repeat in families over and over and over again. So I think that there's something to that, and to this idea of the morphogenetic field of the family, the ancestor, and that isn't to say that we should only play in. Like, we don't want to take this into nativism. Like, you should only play within the ancestral tradition that you were born within, right? Because that puts us in these sort of silos, and it leads to some really dangerous kinds of thinking. What we want to say is that there are certain gifts that you have, that you've inherited, and you want to unpack, you want to discover and unpack, and like I said, dust them off. One of the gifts that I inherited was this family spirit, right? That is a spirit marriage that has been married to these, seers in my family line, and that I have picked that back up and done that again. There might be some other family inheritance that somebody else has, but we all of us, our ancestors were eco-spiritual practitioners, right? Maybe hundreds of generations that have passed since those practices, but they all, at some point, 2,000 some odd years ago, had various ways of working with these practices and spirits. And so it's there for all of us if we choose to look for it.